Well, hello there, I'm Christine and welcome to my video today. I am a little bit late on doing this video for our Astro Tarot reading for the week of March the 20th to the 26th, 2023. Today actually is the 20th, but oh, what can I say? We've been through a heat wave and I just had to sort of recharge my energies to be able to do this and not do it and feel depleted. So here we are, feeling good. We've got the aircon on, privileged to have solar, and can just sort of get on with it, I guess. So starting today with the 20th of March, where I am, and I will just remember, I always say this on the video, but just sort of be aware that the energies work 1 to 2 days ahead of the planetary statements that, well, I make. That's the way I see it, because we have to allow to wherever you are in the universe, in the world. And also for me and my observations over the years, because I've been into astrology since I was 15 years and I'm 66 or something, and I find a lot of times some of the things that I see get said that will happen, I see inklings of these energies happening and leading beforehand. So I just don't literally think with planetary energies, it's literally open the door, shut the door, the curtain went up, the curtain went down situation. It's a lot more subtle than that, in my opinion. However, changes upon reflection do happen and history reflects that. So I hope that sort of explains it a little bit where I'm at with that. So starting today with the 20th of March, and I'm in the southern hemisphere, so we're experiencing the autumn equinox, or Mabon. I think I'm saying that right. And for those in the northern hemisphere, you have the spring equinox, Ostara. Now, for me in Brisbane, with the heat we've been having, global warming is definitely a thing. I have felt the winds or the breeze of change in the last couple of days, and I know it's coming. Because for me, I find the in-between seasons the best. I don't know about you, and put a comment in the video if you've been where you are experiencing little subtle signs of energy changes with this equinox energy, be it southern hemisphere or northern hemisphere, because I'd love to hear if other people sort of notice a little flower out here or a change on the breeze and things like I do, because I'm sure you do, because we're all highly intuitive enough to notice little things around us, little nuances to show that change is coming. We've also got the sun moving into the sign of Aries today. Aries being a cardinal sign, that will bring the beginning of the astrological year for 2023. And these dates also bring this new moon in Aries. We also are seeing it's the first signs, and it's also the sign of a new lunar cycle that we will see all the new moons in all 12 signs of the zodiac over the coming astrological year, right through till March next year when the new moons are. Have a look at all the new moons and you'll find they all fall into order right up to Pisces and then up to the Aries new moon. And I apologise, the date eluded me for 2024. So this is a good time to reflect, and you've probably already been doing it intuitively, because we're all intuitive, or I believe we're all intuitive, but this is a good time to determine where you're going, maybe discovering how best to get there, what divination tools you're going to need to navigate and understand our way through this year and just life in general. That's what I'm sort of hoping for, good things to happen. Now, on the 23rd, we also have the much talked about planet Pluto, the planet of endings and beginnings that brings about change, stepping into the sign of Capricorn, stepping out of the sign of Capricorn, where it's been in 2008, and where we saw over this time since 2008 a rise of heightened ambition, efficiency. All those KPIs come in like you wouldn't believe with aggression, depending on what area in life you work, and also a strong emphasis on organisation and management, just like you wouldn't believe, and also the rise of the individual, often feeling a sense and an urgency to just create courageously. And for a lot of people, it's a big thing to step out on social media and put themselves out there. We take that for granted, how that's sort of not easy for everyone. But to courageously assert oneself to gain a sense of identity and claim. The rise of the influencer is what I think we will look back on. And we've always had influencers, like, just say, for instance, Marilyn Monroe and various movie stars, politicians. But this is where the individual could rise to be the influencer. So I think that's been something good. But anyway, getting back to Pluto will be dipping its toe into the sign of Aquarius, where I believe we're already seeing people with an urge to bring about strong reform. Well, I am. I sort of look around me, and I guess at my age in life, I've got the time to sort of sometimes sit on the veranda and sip tea and watch the world going by and think there's someone there wanting to make change and bring about reform. And it won't happen overnight, this massive change that we hear people going, oh, Pluto and Aquarius is going to bring about massive change. Yeah, let's look at it at the end of it, and see what happens, because there will be changes, because that's the world we live in, a whirlpool of change. But hopefully we're going to see change of much reform, where we can feel this sort of sense of togetherness and the group, and working with the group to bring about change and wonderful things, where we are in the group, and groups, people joining together and helping to bring about change as a collective. So Pluto will shift back into Capricorn in June 11th of 2023, so I'll talk about that later, or no doubt loads of people are talking about it. But check where Pluto is in your chart, and if it's in the early degrees, because this is just dipping its toe in, of 0 to 3 degrees, just see where its energy may apply to you in your chart. So on the 25th, we also see Mars, the planet of action, and drive, determination, moves in the sign of Cancer. Now, Mars rules Aries, and that's where it really likes that. But in Cancer, the sign of security and home, Mars is not quite so happy, in the sense it's what's called in fall, which I might do a video on explaining that, because just see where that goes. I just didn't have time today when I was sort of thinking about it, and I thought, now what have I said? So this brings about a sense of focus, can be a loss of direction, but it's not necessarily that dramatic. I feel it can be just where you might be where Mars, you would charge in gung-ho, yeah, let's do it, wah, wah, wah. It might be just where you think, can you just let me check that out first? Can I just think about that first? Things like that. And one of the upswings of Mars in Cancer is that it brings about a drive to help others. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about the seasons and the garden and various things, and I'm due to plant my marigold plants. And when I say marigold, I plant Calendula officinalis because I like to make oil with it. And I got my green witch oracle out because I just thought it'd be nice to think, well, if you aren't in the position to grow the plant or have the oil or anything like that, you can just find a picture of marigolds or visualize marigolds and just sit with that, because whatever level you're using marigold on, it can help bring insights and protection from unwanted emotions. If you're sort of feeling, well, I don't normally feel like this with Mars in Cancer, you can help clear that energy from that situation, and you can help connect yourself with positivity, because marigold is astrologically connected to the sun energy, and it is tends to be ruled by Leo energy, but then Leo can be the family as well as Cancer and the home. That sort of can be a crossover with that, and love of people and using creativity to sort of help you deal with things, with changes. So this concept of marigold oil, marigold plants in your garden, or flowers, or drying your own marigold or calendula helps, or meditating on it can help bring a softer focus that can help you just sort of stay in the moment and bring about a new way of seeing things. And I just had a flash of insight because I have a friend who's a colour therapist, and you could also have an orange cushion or an orange scarf, anything with this energy that will connect us and help you to stay in the moment and bring about a new way of seeing things. So I just sort of wanted to share that energy with you, and I'm going to work with the cards now because I don't know, we live in a whirlpool of change, and I'm having shifts like everyone else. Some things that are old are now new, and some things that are new are now old. So life, that's the way it all goes. What's it? The Beatles said, "Oh bloody, oh blada," life goes on. So that's how it is. So what are we looking at the cards and see what the energy is around us for this week? Maybe I'll pop that there and put crystal there. There we go. So our read for the week. Let's see what comes up, taking it from the top. Our first card is the Five of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. Just move that along a little bit so we see it well. I hope you can see these okay. And then we have the energy of the Magician. And I'll look at the bottom of the deck in a moment. So for some of us, the energy around us might be a sense of needing to let go and let things flow that little bit. And as I said, with the planets happening of endings and beginnings, there are endings happening for a lot of us because a lot of planets are moving out of Pisces, and that's like this energy of ending as planets then move, the ones that move more. We've had these lots of shifts of energy, and the faster moving planets are going to move more into new signs as we start this astrological new year. So it's all very well to say, oh wow, today it all moves into Aries and it's all a wonderful tickety-boo. With often moving forward, there can be a time of reflection and what's gone past and what we need to let go of. It's that whole thing. When I saw that, is when you looking and have a problem, the things that may not have worked out so well, if you just reflect on them and take the learning from that and then let it go, and metaphorically, or if you cross, I'm fortunate when I drive to the shops, I cross a river and I mentally pick out the things that are bothering me and I drop them into the river to let them be cleansed and flow on. So it's that sort of energy here with that. And then be ready to turn around and prepare for the new and focus on what you do have that's there still standing and working for you. So that is this whole energy for us with this feel of change and shifting. There is an opportunity to open up if you've been closed, and to open up and be open to new ideas, to see things differently, and to sort of feel the warm, the calming waters, not warm, I meant to say calm when I was looking at that. And I just sort of felt that if you've had decisions to make, there's an opportunity to sort of clear the way and open up and make the decision and sort of be able to see things. As I said, there's this new way of seeing things if you choose to reflect on the marigold. I think that will help you if you are experiencing any sort of uncertainty about a situation. Now, once again, the best way you can look after yourself is trust that there's always something there that will help you, someone that will help you, and also the best way to look after ourselves is to help others. And with that Mars energy that I talked about before, we will have a sense of compassion, and we could find ourselves wanting to give someone else a hand. It could be just as simple as when you walk up the street, you see someone you haven't seen before and you smile at them and say good morning, and all of a sudden they light up. And even if they don't light up, what's it matter? It's that sort of sense of being in a space where you're sort of wanting to give out your own positive energy is what I see with that, and have those positive thoughts, and that helps us move forward both physically and emotionally. We can expect to hear news from people who are having some difficulties themselves, but it's mainly about their own thoughts and things that are holding them back and where they're wanting to go, and they're wanting to take the next step, and they might be coming to you and you're going to be able to help them take the next step, or you're going to put out an idea. You're going to have a flash of inspiration with this to bring about an idea that can also help you free yourself from a situation that you feel is blocking you, or help someone else block themselves. Or maybe you're just having a conversation over coffee and someone is telling you about someone they know or a problem they're having, and you just get a flash and you say, look, I just got this intuitive moment come through that this might help. Is it okay I share it with you? And you share that with them, and that helps them bring about change, because they will move forward through that. So don't be frightened if you get flashes of intuition this week, and be able to help someone else through it. So share your intuition in a positive way, and by the end, and that's why I've sort of had these, you got these two flanking this card here. There's help and there's taking charge of your situation. So by the end of the week, you are going to feel that you have a handle on everything. You have this sort of sense of being in charge. You're going to know that you've got everything you need to move your life in the direction that you want it to go, and you're going to feel quite very content and happiness. With the roses there, I'm sort of getting this sort of sense of self-love and compassion, and also trusting that you are able to move forward in the way that you want your life to go. And I have the reflection of the marigold. I'll leave that there because we haven't done the Chinese cards yet, the tea leaf cards I should say, the Chinese tea leaf fortune telling cards. So we'll move, oh, and we didn't look at the bottom of the deck. Leave that to last. Feel my energy. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and we'll pop them up there, and we pop them up here, down we go. So, and if this reading doesn't make sense, come back to it because it'll probably make sense later to you in the week and you can look back and reflect on it too. So taking it from the top, I also thought amber was a nice sort of crystal energy to have as well, which probably works with that. So we'll take 3. There's a lot of worry over nothing with these 2 swords, but not to discount anything. Maybe by the end of the week you discover, well, I worried about that unnecessarily. That's what I get with that energy there. And you can swim forward and expect to see some trouble and accusations, and what you're going to find by the end of that, you have the whale, the frying pan. You've got to sort of make sure you think things through and don't jump from the frying pan into the fire. And if you're feeling that there's some sort of negativity around you or some accusations getting done about you, trust that you're going to move forward with this because of the carriage, and you're going to think, well, you're either going to physically step away from a situation, or you could find yourself just mentally shutting the door on that, and as I said, putting the problems into the river, into whatever receptacle you have. I've got a friend who puts everything into her God bottle and lets God deal with that. So whatever works for you, there's some wonderful, wonderful tools out there to sort of help us journey and move through whatever problems we're having. The next cards we have is 1, time to get out of a situation. So moving on from that, 3, there could be a disappointment, some disappointment news with the flute and lover, or a lover there with that. Those flowers look to be a little bit sagging, so yeah, there is a disappointment, but let's see what we have coming after that. You have someone who's also undependable and not sincere, and the guidance was it's time to get out of that situation. And this one here was about stepping back from a situation that's not working. So there's definitely change coming with endings and beginnings with the I'm finding with these energies. And we have an older woman, and we have the horse on short journeys, and we have the bell of an announcement with that. So the fortune telling cards are giving us a sense of endings and beginnings, and just the flow of things. And these cards are flowing similar to, and I think it's energetically tuning in with the planetary energy with that. But ultimately, Magician is about, by the end of the week, you're going to feel good, and you can use the tool of calendula oil, marigold oil, positivity, and also with the 40 being stability, and also the color of orange. Now I sort of do know the chakras, and I have used them in about chakra balancing, but right at this moment I think the orange is about being stability in the gut and letting that gut settle energy, and just balance those energies out and feeling positive. And I think orange will help us. Now, looking at the bottom of the deck, which I said I would come back to, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and wow, there's a new coming. We do have to travel through with this new beginning and to the other side, and there's it's a card of spring, I think. I'm not up with the seasons with the tarot in the sense of I'm in the southern hemisphere and I just read to what the person's asked me at the time, that there is definitely this new growth, this new beginning, and this new opportunity to travel through to something new this week. And it's going to bring a positive sense. It's going to bring some sort of financial stability for people, and opportunities are all around you with that. So thank you for watching. Let me know how this reading sits with you, and I wish you a wonderful week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.